Well, welcome back to another game of 80s Baseball. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer and creator at the Clark & Addison Gaming Company, and we have been playing through the 1986 World Series between the Mets and the Boston Red Sox. We're on game 4 right now, and we're playing Thomas Hetrick's game 80s Baseball, which you can find in the link in the description. It's a wonderfully simple game, but very easy to play. Not very difficult, but it's got some intricacies and some details to it that are interesting. And it's a little bit different style of gameplay, similar, but it's got some different types of mechanics. So let's just get into this one. If you want to see a detailed description of the components and how to play, you can look at Kurt Berglund's Baseball World channel, and he has a nice introduction to 80s baseball. You can also go back to game 1 of this series on this channel, and I walk through the components and the gameplay just a little bit. But we have the Mets coming up first. They'll be facing off against Al Nipper. Nipper just a 1 on his rating, so not a great pitcher in this season. His strikeouts are going to be 90 to 95, and so if we don't reach 90, then that's going to be an out. So more of a ground ball contact type pitcher, so we'll see how that goes against the Mets. You can see that for the most part the Mets are going to be a +2 against him, and that's pretty tough. So we're looking at our left-handed splits here. I just went ahead and put left and right splits both. You can see them here, but I just put them here on the sheet. It's going to be easier whenever we have to bring pitchers in and out of the game. So let's get this one started. It's going to be Lenny Dykstra, Wally Backman, and Keith Hernandez. New York finds themselves down in a hole after a pretty tough loss in game number 3. 8-0 as they get shut out on a 5-hitter by Cam Boyd. So they're looking to bounce back in this one. They send Ron Darling to the mound against Boston. So it'll be Dykstra, Backman, and Hernandez first off for the Mets in inning number 1. So let's get this one started. 31 to Lenny Dykstra. He is remember we're looking at the left-hand side, so left and right splits. So he's a 7+2. 7 plus, so 5, 6, 7. A 1 to 25 for a hit, so it's not going to be a hit. And this will be a ground ball from Lenny Dykstra. And that's going to be grounded to the shortstop, no problem at short. And that'll be out number 1 as game 4 is underway. Wally Backman will make an out, I believe. 93 is going to be a strikeout. So Nipper with the K. 2 down in the inning, and it'll be Keith Hernandez to the plate. A 16 is going to be a hit. That'll be a single for Keith Hernandez. Let's see if there's any sort of funky play. There is not. And so up next will be Gary Carter, and Gary Carter is going to follow up. 49 for Carter is also a single. So let's see about runner advancement on the single. 59. Second and third, S12. So we look here, 2-3, S12. Runners on second and third score. Runner on first to second base. So just a move up of 1 base there on the single. And runners at first and second with 2 down for the straw man. The straw man ended game 2 in New York with an 11th inning 2-run homer. A walk-off homer. 78 is going to be an out, and 68 will be a flyout. That's just your run-of-the-mill flyout to right field. Deep but playable, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. So New York out of the first, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on. We head to the bottom of the first. Boston sends Boggs, Barrett, and Buckner, the Killer Bees, to the plate. 34, 19 plus 2, 1 to 31. So that's not going to be a hit. That'll be a ground out for Boggs, as he's going to ground out to the first baseman. He pulls it down the line. First baseman tosses to the pitcher covering. Sharing is caring. And that is out number 1. We get a 99 for Barrett. 99 could be a walk. It is. So a 99 or 100 is going to be a walk. And Marty Barrett takes the bag. So he is on at first. And Bill Buckner. Sorry, that was supposed to come off of the pitcher's card. It's the same thing. It's still a walk. Barrett has a 1 on his speed. Buckner, I'll tell you what, we're going to do a hit and run here. Buckner's one of the good hitters against Ron Darling. So let's try a hit and run early. Let's get something started. So we go to our one of these situational charts. There it is. So we've got a situational chart, and it goes by the RT rating. So Buckner just a 5. Actually, let's not do that. All right, I thought he was going to be a little bit better. So Buckner to the plate. A 71 will be an out. A 96 though. What is that? That's going to be a strikeout. So 96 or 97 is a K off of Buckner's card. And that's 2 down in the inning. Brings up Jim Rice. Rice with a knock. A 77 is going to be a double. So let's see what happens on this double. Most likely the runner will come around to score, but let's see. A 28 AR plus 2. I believe that's all runners plus 2. All runners advance 2 bases. So he is only going to advance 2 bases. He is not going to score. So they'll hold up the runner at third base. And that brings up Don Baylor. Baylor, an out, but a 100 is going to be a walk, and that's going to load the bases for Ron Darling. So Boston loads the bases in the first. Dewey Evans to the plate. 57 will be an out. Evans. 79 will be an error chance. So that's not good. As we look to the Mets, 1 to 88 is going to be an error. It's a 97 and they make the play. Ho, 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 ho. All right. If it's not an error, then it's just a basic fly out, and that fly out is going to go to 64. That's to center field. So F8 will be the play as they avoid the error, and that leads to no runs. So that was almost certain doom for New York. But they get out of the first, not having given up any runs. It's still tied as we go to the top of the second. For New York, it'll be Ray Knight, Danny Heap, and Mookie Wilson. 86 will be an out. That's a grounder. And that's your basic run-of-the-mill ground out to the shortstop. So, shortstop Spike Owen, really good shortstop, makes the play. Danny Heap to the plate. A 91, I believe that's a strikeout for Nipper. It is. So Nipper now with 2 strikeouts, 1 in each inning. And Mookie Wilson to the plate. Mookie a 13-12, or 13 plus 2. So that's 15. 1 to 27 is going to be a hit. So this will be an out. A 96 is going to be a strikeout. Yeah. Strikeout for Mookie Wilson. So back-to-back strikeouts ends the inning as Al Nipper with the touch. And we go to the bottom of the second. Score tied at 0 early on in this one. And the Red Sox send up Bottom of the order, Gedman, Henderson, and Spike Owen. 39, this is going to be a ground out for Rich Gedman. And that grounder goes to... that grounder goes to 80. That's going to be a ground ball to third base as he pulls it down the line. But at third base, Ray Knight makes a good throw and catch. I had to pull up the Seattle Mariners like I did in the last game to get Henderson and Spike Owen. So just followed back. Where did they come from? 92 is going to be a strikeout from Rick Aguilera as he gets Hindu with the second out of the inning. 83, I don't think that's a strikeout. Nope, his starts at 85, so this will be an out. That'll be a grounder from Spike Owen. 44 is a grounder to short, so we'll go 6-3 on the putout. 1-2-3 inning for Ron Darling in the bottom of the second. We head to the top of the third. Still no score in this game number 4. Red Sox leading the series 2-1, looking to move out to a commanding lead in game 4. 21, I think this is going to be a hit, an 8 + 2, 1-26. So that is going to be a hit. That'll be a base knock for Rafael Santana as he's on. As we flip the lineup over back to Lenny Dykstra. Santana, not great speed, so we'll just leave him there. A 2 is going to be another hit. 75, that's a big one. As he doubles, Lenny Dykstra doubles. And this could be our first run of the game. Let's see what happens with the runner. 34 is all runners +2. So he's just going to go to third. And yeah, doublissimo. And that puts runners at second and third with nobody out. Wally Backman to the plate. This is going to be an out. 64 for Backman is a fly out. So let's see what happens on the play. 77 on a fly out. Sac fly. So we look at what it says. I believe all runners hold. Sacrifice fly if the runner is on third with 0-1 out. Otherwise, fly out and all runners hold. So we're going to treat that like a sacrifice fly. This runner is going to score. That'll be our first run of the game. So sacrifice fly. Where does that go to? We'll say that's to left field. Run scores. First out of the game. And we're going to hold at second base. So the Mets are on the board first. This will be a base knock for Keith Hernandez. That'll be a single. And let's see what happens with the runner. 70 on a single. AR +120. All runners advance one base. If 2 outs, the runner on second scores. We only have 1 out, so he's just going to advance 1 base. So runners now at the corners for Gary Carter. 74 will be an out. 48 is going to be a ground out. 54 is a ground out +1. All runners advance 1 base. So that's going to be a fielder's choice. And that fielder's choice is to the shortstop. So the only play is to first. We'll go 6-3. That's out number 2. He's going to advance on the fielder's choice. He's going to come in on the fielder's choice. And that'll be an RBI ground out for Gary Carter. So runner still in scoring position for Darryl Strawberry, who gets a hit. That's going to be a base knock. So a tough inning here for Nipper as he runs into the New York offense. 48 on a single. second and third scores, first to second. So he's going to come in on the single, and that'll be a run scoring single for Darryl Strawberry. He's now 1 for 2. So 3 runs in for the Mets and another hit. Oh man. This will be another single as they're killing them with paper cuts. And what will happen with the base running 27 is AR +2, so he'll go to third on the single, and we'll have runners at the corners for Danny Heap. Another hit. My gosh. Woo. 1-0, I think. 1-0. 1-17. Okay, so no hit there. That's going to be a ground out. And because he's such a poor hitter against lefties, ground out to a force play 65. So that's going to be just a ground out to the shortstop with 2 outs already. So they make the throw to first, and that ends the inning mercifully. But 3 runs do come in for New York. They take a 3-0 lead over the Red Sox in Game 4. Let's see if Boston has some sort of answer. And they're facing Ron Darling. Back to the top of the order, Wade Boggs, Marty Barrett, and Bill Buckner. 22, this will be a hit. A 99, that could be trouble for Wade Boggs. 99 is going to be a home run as Wade Boggs goes yard. And that'll put Boston on the board here in the 3rd inning with a solo homer. Brings Marty Barrett to the plate. Barrett maybe with a hit. 16 minus 2. 15, 16. 1-22. That is not going to be a hit. That'll be a grounder for Marty Barrett. And a 70 on a ground out is going to be a bouncer to short. So 6-3. That'll be out number 1. Billy Buckner to the plate. Buckner with a 94. 94 is going to be a chance for an error. And so we're looking again at the Mets. Mets are 1-88. They do not avoid the error this time, so it's going to be an error on the catcher. So we're going to say E2. E2 Brute. And that brings up Jim Rice. Rice 1 for 1 with a double. He's going to get another hit here. 57 is going to be a single this time. As we check the base running situation, that will be all runners plus 2 bases. So this will send them to third base. And runners at the corners now with 1 out for Don Baylor. 68 will be an out. A 66 is going to be a fly out. And let's check out what happens on that fly out. Runners hold with something. Fly out, all runners hold. Manager's option to score from third if less than 2 outs. Our base runner at third is Bill Buckner. So we look at our runner advancement chart. Bill Buckner has negligible speed. That means he would be safe on a 26-50. We're going to try to roll the momentum here and just we'll try to let Buckner score. So we got an out. Could be a strike him out, throw him out, double play. Let's see. We'll use the red die for this one since it's Boston. So we got a fly out. We'll figure out that fly out in just a minute. So Buckner's going. A 54. The runner is out just into... Oh, no. Yeah. Okay, all right. It's out at the plate. So that's going to be an inning-ending double play. Let's see where that goes. 30, that's going to be the left field. So we'll call that 7-2 on the putout. This is F7, out number 2, out number 3. Oh my gosh. Billy Buckner, it was close. If they had the challenge system, they would have challenged it at the plate. All right, it is 3-1 as we head to the 4th inning. New York coming to bat. It will be Mookie Wilson, Santana, and then Dykstra. 74 is going to be an out. That'll be a bouncer from Mookie Wilson. And 99 is an error. I think it's an error chance. So I think we roll again off of the error here, 1-92. That is going to be an error, and the error is committed by the shortstop. So Spike Owen, he's had a couple of errors in this series, uncharacteristic of him. So E6, Mookie Wilson is at first. He's got some speed, but not great speed. With a 2-run lead, we'll see what the offense can do to generate something. 84 for Santana is going to be a fly out. That'll be a sacrifice fly. That just turns into a regular fly out, so F9 on the put out. And that'll be 1 out in the inning. So runner at first on the error. Dykstra to the plate. Dykstra's going to ground out. 53 will be a fielder's choice, and that's going to go to the shortstop. So the only play is to first base. I think that's right. GO +1, all runners advance 1 base. Okay. So the play is there. The runner will advance into scoring position on the fielder's choice. So 2 down for Wally Backman. Opportunity to drive in a run here. But instead, he is going to ground out. 37, ground out. The batter is out. That's going to be a 12. So to the catcher, a little tapper in front of the plate. No problem for Rich Gedman, who makes a good throw to the first base bag. And they get the runner by a few steps. It will be Boston coming to bat. In the 4th, they're down 3-1. They're up in the series 2-1. And New York trying to hold on and get back to even. It will be Dwight Evans, Rich Gedman, and Dave Henderson. 38 is going to be a grounder for Dewey Evans. And that ground out goes to the 3rd baseman. 5-3 on the putout. As Ray Knight makes a good throw across the diamond. Rich Gedman to the plate. Gedman with the 59 is going to be a fly out of some sort. So a fly out goes to center field. And it's 2 quick ones in the inning. Ron Darling runs into a little bit here. 10 minus 3. 10 minus 3. A 1-21 is going to be a hit. So this will be a hit for Hindu. And a 23 is going to be a single. So he's 1 for 2. Henderson at first base. 75 will be an out. And a 67 for Spike Owen. That will be into his fly out range. So let's see what happens. Anything funky on the fly out. Nothing strange here, just a regular old fly out to right field. And that's going to be a can of corn for the right fielder, Darryl Strawberry, who puts it away. And we go to the top of the 5th. Still 3-1, New York over Boston in this one. New York had a kind of a almost batted around here in the 3rd inning. And these are the guys who did it here. So it's going to be Henderson or Hernandez, Carter, and Strawberry. So Keith Hernandez against lefties, 15 plus 2. 1-29 is his hit range. So this will be an out, and that's a grounder, a ground ball. And that grounder, nothing strange. That'll go to 45. That's to the shortstop. He bounces it to short. Spike Owen over to first, trying to put that error from the last inning behind him. A 98 for Gary Carter is going to be into Al Nipper's walk range, so he takes the base on balls. and he's been on base a couple of times. He's got an RBI as well. Brings up the straw man, Darryl Strawberry. 78 for Strawberry is going to be a strikeout. So he goes down swinging. And that brings up Ray Knight. Ray Knight and out. 90 though for Ray Knight. Let's see what that is. A 90 is going to be a strikeout as well. So back-to-back Ks as Al Nipper. Not really known for being a strikeout pitcher, I don't think. Kind of a soft tossing lefty. But he gets a couple of strikeouts here in the 5th to end the inning and to shut down the New York offense. It's 3-1 New York as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Back to the top of the order for the Red Sox, Boggs, Barrett, and Buckner. Let's see if the Killer Bees can get something going. 19 plus 2, I don't think he has an opportunity here. 1-31, so he doesn't. That'll be a bouncer. Boggs with a home run in his last at-bat. That bouncer is going to go to right in front of the plate. So he taps it in front of the plate, and the catcher, Carter, pounces on it and throws to first for out number 1. Brings up Marty Barrett. Barrett is 0 for 1 with a walk. 63 will be an out and a grounder. And that ground ball goes to the third baseman. No problem at third for Ray Knight. And the last chance for Boston in the 5th is going to be Bill Buckner. Buckner reached on an error his last at-bat. Otherwise, he's 0 for 2. 71 will be an out. This is another ground ball, as Ron Darling's got it working here in the 5th inning. 39 will be a grounder to second base. So the second baseman, Backman, makes a good throw over to first, and the end of the 5th. So we head to the top of the 6th inning. Still 3-1 New York. Little scoring recap. New York had a sacrifice fly from Wally Backman back in the 3rd, and then there was an RBI single from Darryl Strawberry, and also an RBI ground out from Gary Carter. For Boston, it was a solo home run from Wade Boggs in the bottom of that inning. So we're top of the 6th inning. Al Nipper actually has for as bad as his RT rating is, which is a 1, he's got an 8 stamina, so he can go deep into games. Just wasn't real good, according to the rating system. Ron Darling can go 9 innings, so he's good to rock and roll. In fact, I think he threw a complete game in game number 1. First up is going to be Danny Heap, and then Mookie Wilson, then Rafael Santana. So bottom of the order for the Mets. Danny Heap is 0 for 2. He's going to be 0 for 3 here as he grounds out. And that will be a ground out to the shortstop. So 6-3 on the put out is out number 1. 54 will be into the out range. A 78 should be a fly ball for Mookie Wilson. It is. 46 is nothing strange, and a 75 is going to be a fly out to center. So 2 quick ones, and Rafael Santana to the plate. 38 will be an out for him. That's going to be a ground out. He's 1 for 2 in the game, but he'll be 1 for 3 after this, as he grounds out to the second baseman. So Marty Barrett with a good throw over to first, and it's Billy Buckner that squeezes it for out number 3. Boston's headed off the field. They come back in for the bat, and bottom of the 6th inning, 3-1. They're down by 2 runs. Need to generate a little offense against Ron Darling. Top of the order went 1, 2, 3 back in the 5th. Let's see what the middle of the order can do. It'll be Rice, Baylor, and Evans. 59 is going to be an out as Jim Rice grounds out. He will ground out to the shortstop. And a good throw at short from Rafael Santana. Don Baylor to the plate. 98 is going to be into Ron Darling's walk range. So, second walk of the game for the big slugger Don Baylor. One of the great hitting coaches in baseball history. And that brings up Dewey Evans. Evans 0 for 2. 26. Let's see what his is. 6 and -2. So 6 -2 is 1 to 20. So this will be an out. 64 is a fly out. Just a regular old fly out. Runners are going to hold, and that fly ball goes to center field. So runner holds it first. No chance to advance. And this will be a base knock as we get a hit from Rich Gedman. That'll be a single. And let's check out the runner advancement here on the single. 5, that's going to be all runners advance 2 bases. So Don Baylor's going to wind up at third as Rich Gedman with the 2-out single. And Dave Henderson, 10 -3, a 1 to 21 is going to be a hit. So he's going to ground out. And that ground out goes to 56. 56 is going to be to the shortstop. The only play is to first base, so we'll just go ahead and take that. And that's going to end the inning and the threat as Ron Darling gets runners to the corners, but he extinguishes the threat in the 6th, preserves the 3-1 lead for New York, and we go to the top of the 7th. That is our score. It'll be the top of the order, Dykstra, Backman, and Hernandez for New York. 85 against Al Nipper is not into his strikeout range, so this will be a ground out for Nails. 24, that's nothing, and 69 will be a grounder to short. So Lenny Dykstra is now 1 for 4. He's grounded out 3 times to the shortstop. And Wally Backman to the plate. He is going to have a hit. That's going to be a base knock for Wally Backman. First hit of the game for him. He's 1 for 4. He does have an RBI. 95 to Keith Hernandez. That is at the top of Al Nipper's range, and he's going to strike out the lefty. Gary Carter to the plate. Carter is going to make an out. 83 is going to be a chance for an error, so it doesn't make the out. Chance for an error, 1 to 92. 93 to 100, no error. So this will be an error on the play. The error goes to the second baseman. So Marty Barrett with the E4. I'm going to have the runners advance 1 base. On an infield error, the error is just a 1 base error. Outfield errors is 2 bases. So Darryl Strawberry to the plate with a chance to put another dent in the scoreboard, but he is going to miss, I believe. 85 is going to be a strikeout. So that will be the 3rd out of the inning. New York threatens with a couple on base, 2 outs, and can't get them around to score. Score is holding here at 3 to 1. All runs were scored back in the 3rd inning. We're going to go to Spike Owen and then back to the top with Boggs and Barrett for Boston. 84, Spike Owen is 0 for 2. He's going to be 0 for 3 after this as he grounds out to the first baseman. Take it to first himself. Chugging over there is the first baseman, Hernandez. Excellent. Excellent fielding first baseman. Brings up Wade Boggs. 47 for Wade Boggs is going to be a grounder. At least it'll lead to a ground out, 79. That'll be a grounder to third as he chops it to the third baseman, Knight. Knight with a good catch and throw to get Boggs by a couple of steps. And Marty Barrett, the last chance here in the 7th. And out, and 8 is going to be a grounder. Darling throwing a lot of ground balls in this one, and really just working his way through this Boston lineup. The only blemish really is the home run to Wade Boggs. So this will be a ground out to third base. Knight is up to the challenge again, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Ron Darling and the Mets. We go to the top of the 8th. 3 to 1 is our score. The Mets trying to hang on here and get back to even with this series. Middle bottom of the order, Knight, Heap, and Wilson for the Mets against Al Nipper. Again, Nipper can go 8 innings, so this will probably be his last inning here. And then we'll bring in, unless he gets into some trouble. Ray Knight is 1 for 3. He has a 30 here. He's a 21 plus 2. And 21 plus 2 is a 1 to 33. So this is going to be a knock. That's a single for Ray Knight. He's excellent against left-handed pitching. He's now 2 for 4. A 1-0. I don't believe that's going to be no hit. But 100 for, who is that? Danny Heap. I think that's going to be a walk, right? It is. So a little bit of hot water here for Al Nipper. And we have Mookie Wilson. Mookie Wilson is a switch hitter. If we turn him around, we're going to have to bring in somebody really good, which they don't have anybody really good in the bullpen. So we're going to, nobody that's going to make this matchup any different. So let's just pitch to him. 31 is a 13 plus 2. So 1 to 27. So this will be an out. And 29 is going to be a ground out. DPA. Got to hear DPA. If a man on first with 0 or 1 out, the result is a double play. We do have that. All other runners advance 1 base. So they're going to go, this is 72. That's to the shortstop. So we're going to go here as a fielder's choice. He's going to advance. And this will be out number 1. And we're going to go 6-4-3 on the fielder's choice. So they erase 1 off the bases. And Mookie Wilson hits into a double play. Runner at third still, though, for Rafael Santana. A 25. Chance for a hit here, 8 plus 2. So 8 plus 2, 1 to 26. Ooh, just in there. 91. That's going to be huge. 91 is going to be a double. So that is an RBI double for Rafael Santana, and he gives the Mets a 4-1 lead as he knocks in the run. From there, 96 on a double is all runners score, so no problem there. All right, I think that's it for Al Nipper. I gave him a chance to finish up, so let's get a new pitcher in here. It's going to be Joe Sambito. I don't think he was actually available in this series, if I remember correctly, but I don't remember. Sambito is going to come in after 7 2/3 from Al Nipper. So let's see if he can get the out. He is a 3. So I'm not going to change anything, but he does force Dykstra into a 7 instead of a 15 because he's a lefty. All right, 99. He promptly comes in and throws walks the first batter. So runners now at first and second. And he comes in to throw some gas on the fire. 21 to Wally Backman. 3 plus 2. Let's see. 5, 4, 3. 1 to 21. It will be a hit. A 46 for Backman is going to be a single. And if they get lucky, it will be an infield single. But all runners plus 2 bases. So that'll send this guy to third. That's going to bring this guy home to score. And that's an RBI. So it's now 5-1, New York. And Keith Hernandez to the plates. Hernandez is going to bounce out. Actually, 87. Let's see. 87 is a strikeout, so strikeout numbers change as well. All right. New York puts 2 on the board in the 8th. It's now 5-1, as that really backfired on me, didn't it? 5-1. New York is ahead. Boston's going to need something serious. They had the middle of the order up, Buckner, Rice, and Baylor in the bottom of the 8th. We're going to send Ron Darling out there for the 8th. He's going to give up a hit here. A 72 to Baylor is going to be a double. Or Buckner, sorry. 72 to Buckner is a double. And let's see if there's any error on the play. 63 on a double, there's not. So Jimmy Rice, 62 is going to be an out. 35 should be a ground out, it is. And we get a 63 on a ground out. That says DP. DP says nifty double play. The runner is out at second and batter out at first. That's not what we got here. We're going to go to the DP chart. Runner at second or third, the batter is out and the runner's hold. So that's going to be a ground out to the shortstop. He looks back the runner at second base and the runner holds. Don Baylor to the plate. Baylor is 0 for 1, but he does have 2 walks. A 91 against Ron Darling is going to be a strikeout. So he adds a strikeout there. We got 2 down and a runner at second base for Dewey Evans. Boston trying to climb back into this one, but he is going to make an out as well. This will be a ground out. And that ground out goes to the second baseman. Good throw to second. And that is from Wally Backman. And that shuts down the rally in the 8th. We go to the top of the 9th inning. 5-1 is our score. New York over Boston. Let's get a new pitcher for the Red Sox as Sambito goes third of an inning and gives up. He gives up no runs, but the 2 runs are charged to Al Nipper. So all 5 runs have been charged to Al Nipper. Let's get Steve Crawford in. See if he can shut things down. And he'll come in to face the middle of the order in the 9th inning. Crawford is a right-hander and an 8. So let's see if it changes anything here. Doesn't change him. That'll make him a -3. And, 8. That makes him a 0. Doesn't change this guy. And that makes him a 0. We'll see if it affects anybody else here as we move along. But that's our first 3. Assume the best, right? 75, it was going to be an out against Gary Carter. Gary Carter is 1 for 3. Got on via an error in his last at-bat. 40 to Gary Carter is going to be a ground out. He hits this one to third base. Good pick at third for Boggs, and a throw over first is out number 1. Darryl Strawberry to the plate. He's also 1 for 4. A 91 for Crawford is going to be a strikeout. So 2 up, 2 down so far for Steve Crawford. And that's going to bring up Ray Knight. A 95 is into his walk range. So Crawford walks a man with 2 outs. And that's going to bring up Danny Heap. Against righties, he's going to be a +2 here, or against this right-hander. So Danny Heap is going to make an out, and 88 will be a chance for an error, so he doesn't make an out. 1 to 92, it's an 8, and the error goes to the second baseman. So Marty Barrett, I believe, makes his second error of the game. E4, and everybody's going to move up 1. So we get runners at first and second for Mookie Wilson. Wilson is going to continue to be a +2. So 98 will be a walk, and that will load the bases. Bases loaded. Rafael Santana to the plate. Steve Crawford on the mound. A 20. He's going to be an 8 and an 8. That's a 0. So 8-0. 10, 9, 8. 1 to 24 is going to be a hit. This will be a hit. 46 is a single. And with 2 outs and the bases loaded, Rafael Santana puts a little distance between the New York and Boston scores. 85 on a single. That's going to be AR +1. So all runners +1, which is all runners advance on an infield single. So if you can believe it, an infield single with the bases loaded. And so everybody's going to move up 1. He's going to score. So coming in to score on that infield single is Ray Knight. And we have bases loaded still with 2 outs. And the dam is bursting. Lynn Dykstra with a base knock. 35 on a single. Second and third score. And it is going to be a 2-run single. So he's going to come in. He's going to come in. And he's going to go to third. I think that's right. Second and third score. Runner on first has the manager's option to score. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to send them to third. So 2-run single for Lenny Dykstra. And this game is all but over as everyone starts to head for the exits. 55 to Wally Batman. A 95 for Crawford is another walk, and he's getting the Boo Bird treatment as that pushes the runner to second base, and that will load the bases yet again. Keith Hernandez, 9th man to hit in this one. He's going to ground out, and that grounder goes to the shortstop. We'll go 6-3 on the putout. That's the 3rd out of the inning, but New York bats around and they score 3 more runs. It's now 8-1 as they are putting it on Boston with 5 runs in the last 2 innings. So we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Boston all but out of this one. Bottom 3 are up, and Ron Darling is going to try to finish this one off. This will be a base hit. 72 to Rich Gedman on a hit is going to be a double. So Gedman rings one off of the monster and left, and he's standing at second base. 50 is no error on the play. Another base hit for Dave Hindu Henderson. A 0-0-5. I'm pretty sure that's a single. So Henderson not giving up without a fight, and 61 is a single. So that'll be a base hit. Let's see if the run scores from second base or not. A 91 on a single. All runners +1. So that's going to be an infield single, actually. And we get runners at the corners with nobody out here in the 9th. Spike Owen against a righty is a 5 -3. So 37 is not going to be a hit. 48 is going to be a ground out. So let's see what happens on the play here. 32 ground out. We go to the force out situation chart. First and third, the manager of the fielding team has an option to force out at second. The runner scores if it's not the 3rd out. Or you can throw home, and then the runner on first to second, and the batter is safe. I don't see what it would hurt. We don't really care about this runner at first base, so we're going to get the guy at home. 78, we'll say that's going to be 5-2 on the putout as they try to advance, but cannot. We'll say 5-2. So fielder's choice. They take the runner at home, and it's Wade Boggs to the plates. Boggs is 1 for 4 with a homer. Here he's going to ground out. A 60 on a ground out. is a double play. No, it's not. It's a fielder's choice. So the only play is to first base. So we'll go 6-3. That's out number 2, but both both runners on base are going to move up. So now we have 2 down with runners at second and third. And this is going to be a knock from Marty Barrett, as there's no quit in Boston. So base hit with 2 on. All runners +2. So that scores him. That scores him. And brings up Bill Buckner to the plate. Buckner, last chance here. He's going to ground out with a runner at first base. 45 on a ground out. That's going to be to the third baseman. Going to third with it is Ray Knight, and Boston gets 2 in the ninth, but that's going to be too little too late, as they go down in this one by a score of 8-3. Let me put you on hold and I'll come back with the totals in this one. All right, so we finished this one off. 8-3 is our score. New York over Boston. For New York, it was 8 runs on 13 hits and 1 error. For Boston, it was 2 runs on 9 hits and 3 errors. Winning pitcher in the game is Ron Darling, who goes 9 innings, gives up 9 hits, scattered 9 hits, really, 3 earned runs. Struck out 3, walked 3. And the losing pitcher is going to be Al Nipper, who goes 7 2/3. Pretty valiant innings for a guy who's only rated a 1. And 10 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Not a good day for Steve Crawford, who comes in for 1 inning, gives up 2 hits, 2 runs. Only one of those was earned. We had the error on the second baseman here. But 3 walks and 1 strikeout, so not a great ratio to their strikeouts to walks. So that's pretty terrible. Boston is going to try to put this one in the rearview mirror. They're now tied with New York. They had an opportunity to go up 3-1, but instead the series is now tied at 2. And I don't... do we go back to Boston? I think it's another 1 in Boston for game 5 and then 2 in New York. I believe that's right. So I believe they play 3 in a row in Boston. So Boston will try to take a lead in this series, but right now they're tied. This game is using 80s Baseball, which is a game by a designer. His name is Thomas Hetrick. So go check out the description, or the link in the description, and you'll go to the 80s Baseball website and check it out. You can purchase any number of seasons. Obviously, you can get the 1980s, but he has other seasons as well, including some really far back historic seasons into the dead ball and pre-1900s baseball as well. I believe he has some Negro League seasons, so go back and check out Thomas's game. It's very easy to play, not very difficult, but it provides enough detail with pretty good speed to play. You can probably play without talking and doing all the machinations of recording a video, probably 35 to 40 minutes or so at most. All right, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comments section below. If you missed any of the other games in this series, there have been some good ones. Go back into the previous videos and check those out. If you want to check out some of my games, you can go to clarkandaddisongaming.com and see all of my baseball, basketball, and football games. I've got several other games here on the channel that I've been debuting. If you want to play any of those, like AIG hockey or baseball or tennis or golf or whatever else I have out there, you can email me at clarkandaddisongaming@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to send you those files. A gentleman wanted to play AIG hockey at the upcoming Digital to Dice Con up in the Northeast in Connecticut, I think is where they're going to be. And so if you want to, you might be able to catch that game being played up there as well. So I told him that's cool, and he's got the most recent files for that game. Really cool hockey game that kind of captures the flow, zone-to-zone flow of a hockey game. It's a little bit of a medium play hockey game, a little bit less than a game like Inside the Crease, but a little bit more than just a kind of a highlight game. It's a little bit more than that. So you're taking shots, but it's kind of a highlight shot by shot, I guess is a good way to say it. But there are, several other kinds of plays in there. So you're going to get puck battles and stuff like that. It's just not super detailed, but it's pretty detailed and gives you a lot of bang for the buck. You're going to get, at this point, I've got 3 lines for the forwards and for the defensemen. There's talk of doing 4 lines. The trick there is to just try to get the lines right. I mean, if anybody knows, I've had one gentleman give me a resource to try to check and find all the lines for the different teams. But if you know of a resource online that just maps out, okay, these are the guys in the lines, then just send me that, because that's really the hardest part, is to get the players who are in line 1, 2, and 3, especially for historic seasons. I can ask the AI to give me those lines. Sometimes it matches up with what people think, and sometimes it doesn't. So there could be a little bit of controversy there just by going off of the AI and its research. But it's a super fun game, and you should check it out. I've got another racing game that's kind of on the back burner. The golf game is a lot of fun. It's sort of a shot-by-shot golf game. And I've got Augusta National at this point as a course. So if you want to play that, and you can play a game, or you can play a match with 2 players in probably, 5 to 10 minutes. So even if you have 4 players, it doesn't add very much time there. And I do have the top 4 golfers in the world who are rated for that game. And it's rated for all types of different shots. And then based on the hole, there's like some key traits that you look at for each golfer. So you don't look at all the same traits on every single hole. A par 3, you need different types of traits to score low on a par 3 than you do on a long par 5, 570 yards or whatever. So it's kind of cool. Your players are rated on tee accuracy and distance, middle iron accuracy and distance, putting, your short game, and I want to say there was something else in there as well. But they have just these different traits that you need to use to be able to navigate each hole. And then obviously different golfers are different. Some are long hitters, some are accurate hitters, some are good with the short game or good with putting. And so that sort of plays into everything as well. So a really fun game, and I think it provides pretty accurate results. The best golfers in the world are shooting anywhere from 2 under to 5 under in a round at Augusta. So, and then there's wind effects, and there's some other different things that you can add into the game as some like optional extras that make it a little bit more of a challenge. All right. Again, you can email me at clarkandaddisongaming@gmail.com. Anytime you want to, you can go to clarkandaddisongaming.com and use the contact form there. That also comes to me. So anytime you have a question about a game, or you want to learn more, or you find something in a game that's not right, feel free to send that to me. For the AIG games, please send your thoughts and your feedback. None of them are in production yet. AIG Basketball is about as close as anything is, and that's a free beta that you can download at clarkandaddisongaming.com. Just go to the free section, and you can download the AIG beta. You get 3 full basketball seasons for the NBA, and there are different periods of history in the NBA, and you can play through those seasons. You get all the cards, all the players who got into a game during those 3 seasons, and play it out to your heart's content. It's a very easy game to play, and once you kind of get the roles down and the system and what happens, the game picks up a little bit of speed as well. But again, that's another flow sport. Flow sports are hard, and so I've tried to really capture the flow back and forth of basketball and getting the ball to the right player. That's sort of one of the more difficult parts of tabletop basketball games. Really appreciate everybody's support. I hope you have a great weekend. And I will be back with game number 5 from this series sometime soon. Don't know exactly when, but I will have that soon. It might be early next week, it might be tomorrow, but stay tuned. If you subscribe to the channel, then you will get updates and notifications of whenever I publish new content on this channel. So hit that subscribe button. We're up past 360, so thank you everyone who has subscribed. If that's you, you know who you are. If you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. That's a super easy way to support what I'm doing. And for any designer, whether it's me or Thomas or anybody else, if you want to have them continue to play games and to make games, then go out and buy something from them. That's a super easy way to just kind of encourage. Nobody's making, most of us are not making a living off of this. Maybe someone like Clay Dreslock who has multiple other games, or a larger company like Strat or Appa. This is what they do. But for most of us, this is a side gig and just something we've wanted to do and share. And hopefully you enjoy the work that we are doing. All right, I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.